could care less about another process, state of address, finessed and digest for the rest to digest. I will give it to you effortless, editless. Compress the mic and catch sight of your first female president. Witness the expert resident, speaker of the house. When announced, the clout becomes evident. Star, ask me the resident, never hesitant. Rep all states, take 24 as president. The unit of measurement's excellence. I could speak in gibberish, the jib would still form sentences. Still elicit hate and competitors. Still be called great by conglomerates of peers and etc. Still beyond years, I'm ahead of ya. I'm your favorite go-getter, ancestor, faith-driven veteran. Reset the presets to better than. That's ET for all y'all. Now please hold your questioning. What's up? This is yours truly, Eternia, representing Toronto, mega worldwide. We are live and direct in Queens with GangstaGirl.com. That's what we are. Let's go nowhere. At last dropped June 29th, 2010 on Fat Beats. It's 3 years in the making. When the record dropped, we were pretty much like, at last! It's out, finally! So, you know what the album title means now. It's me and Moss. It's definitely 50%, just as much his record as it is mine. He's in Toronto, which is why he's not with us here today. I mean, I almost never thought past, like, life past At Last. It's like post At Last, what now? It took a good chunk of my life. Emotionally, time-wise, creatively, travel-wise, just hard work to get it out, to get it picked up, to get it released. And I think we did our job. You're here interviewing me now, so it's a good sign. And I think now our biggest job is to make sure that everybody hears the album. So the album's out, so our next biggest job is, all right, have you heard it? If you haven't, why not? Because anybody that does, their reaction exceeds our expectations. Anybody that listens, especially people in the biz, especially rappers, like, people will listen to it and they'll be like, whoa, I thought it was gonna be good, but this is, and that's their words, not mine. I'm not speaking about my own project like that. So yeah, it's been good. It's been a good ride. Me and Moss are like brother and sister. We're very similar. So our creative energy is, we're actually really good when we record together. We did every single song together in the studio, which is not, it's a lost art these days. People do a lot of internet transferring. We didn't do that. We met 2007. I was opening for him and for EMC, Master Ace's group, and for Marco Polo and Torre and Mr. Attic. They were doing like a beat society kind of thing. And we were in the middle of nowhere, Winnipeg, and there wasn't many people there. Not because of the headline, it's just because I guess, you know, it was a cold night, it was snowy, not well promoted. And so I rocked my ass off for like 10 people. And one of those people was Moss. And it just goes to show you, like, no matter if there's 10 people in the crowd or 1,000, you need to treat it like it's the last show you'll ever rock. I always think that when I go out on stage, it's like, okay, this is the last show I ever rock, this is the kind of energy I want to give. So I did. And then afterwards, Moss came up to me, and he was already familiar with my work, and I was familiar with his. We just never met. And he was like, I heard a whole album in my head listening to you perform. A lot of people get excited when they see me perform, and I'm used to people kind of flaking, but he didn't. A couple months later, we started recording the record, November '07, and the rest is history. So that's the story. They all came about differently, but in the beginning, they all came out with me and Moss having a conversation. That's how it all started. That's how it was conceptualized. So he basically say, you know, who do we know? Who do we have links to? Who have we worked with? Who do you want to collab with, like dream collabs? And then we kind of created that list, pared it down, and the people that you see on our album together is the kind of the final pared down list. Joel Ortiz, I worked with Moss before, he was familiar with my stuff. Rod Digger, obviously somebody I looked up to and listened to a lot when I was in high school, so that was like a dream come true. We just came back from Germany actually, and I performed Barbecue on stage with her in Germany, on her set, not mine. And that was beautiful. I got footage of that I haven't released yet. But yeah, just everybody was basically a list of who are we cool with, who do we respect, who do we want kind of people to associate what I do alongside. You know, so that's why we picked a lot of lyricists. I think most of our, if not all of our collaborative people are lyricists, and that's because that's very important to us that we be compared on that level. This is an often posed question about what happened to female MCs in hip-hop. I guess I get asked it so much that I have to think about it, but I'm usually just one of those people that like to be part of the solution, so it's like, I don't want to talk about it, I just want to be a female in hip-hop that is proving people wrong and doing it, and hi, I'm over here. But, I mean, when I get to thinking about it, there's more than one thing. I think you could probably write a whole thesis study on it. The fact that what you see in the mainstream is usually backed by major corporations, lots of money, millions of dollars, and that's an investment, just like a Coca-Cola product, and they're not really going to invest in something that they view as a risk. Generally, I guess these days, maybe not in the early 90s or 80s, but these days, female MCs are viewed as a risk when it comes to bottom line and the quarter sales or whatever. So that's one reason why mainstream, not indie, you know. I think that a lot of people require a team to be out there beyond their block or their city. There's only so much one human being can do. And a lot of women, I don't know, I find that a lot of women I meet in different cities around the world don't necessarily have that same kind of, they don't roll with a squad oftentimes like dudes do. And that could be a gender socialization thing, who knows? Like, for example, it doesn't have to be me. Like, even if you look at Bahamadia or Lauryn Hill or Rod Digger, like, you don't see them with like 10 dudes or 10 chicks behind them all air micing their lyrics. That's an example of a squad. That's an example of people that like got your back and they just roll wherever you roll. They're like your street scene. That doesn't really happen for women. I'm not complaining. I'm just stating this as a sociological fact. There's like a whole bunch of reasons. Wherever I go, in every city, I meet a female MC that is doing her thing, releasing product, organizing shows, running things in almost every city I go to. So when people say that female MCs don't exist, I say to them, honestly, your research is wrong, or you haven't researched at all. It's just an inaccurate statement. But when it comes to major label, major pop culture success, yes, there's a whole bunch of machines that are required in order for you to get there, and I don't think they're really putting themselves behind most female MCs right now. Yeah, I mean, I just got back from Splash Festival, which is like approximately 10,000 people, definitely bigger than Rock the Bells. Damien, Marley, and Nas were headliners. Missy Elliott was a headliner. Wu-Tang, all 9 of them were headliners. They featured like kind of like the dream list of hip-hop acts, 3-day weekend. People go out in tents and camp out at this hip-hop festival in Germany. So that was amazing. They were giving out free tattoos backstage. Shows how much discipline I have. I came back tatless, inkless, free! And yeah, so I rocked there and it was really good. And then a couple days later, me and Rod Digger and Yara Bravo, Daisy, Lady Daisy, and some other people all rocked in Stuttgart. So that was good. I'm going back out there probably in the fall. You know, I go, honestly, wherever the doors open. It's a very organic thing. Usually it happens if somebody sees me rocking and they say, okay, we want you here. So it's like the proof is in the pudding kind of thing. I've been to Australia, all over the US, every state. I did Warped Tour in 2005, pretty intense. All over Canada. I haven't rocked my country that my father was born in yet, which I really want to, Turkey. I know I got fans there, and I haven't been to like anywhere in like Asia, and I haven't been to Africa yet. So those are like some places, some continents that I want to go. Everybody has different goals, and everybody has different motives and intentions. And so I personally never, no, I won't say never. In my adult life, I haven't really aspired to be on a 50 Cent, Eminem, Nicki Minaj level. I'm sure if I did aspire to be that, I would be sacrificing in other ways in order to get there. But I refuse to do that. So, and I'm very happy. I would be happy just making a living doing what I love, which it's been a struggle, but arguably is what I'm doing now. So, I think that we can achieve whatever our goal is. It's just, what is your goal? And for me, sacrificing certain things isn't worth success and fame. And money, and so I don't do that. But that's not to say that for someone like Nicki, that's not her goal. Like, if her goal is to be as big as she is, Lord bless her, she's there, you know? If you don't know where your boundaries are, where your lines are, what your ethics are, what you will and won't do, somebody else will define them for you. And when somebody else defines them for you, it's you end up living life with a lot of regret, you know? And so I don't envy people that you see that are the Coke bottle, but the artist version of the Coke bottle. I don't envy them because I live life pretty free. I know what I am comfortable doing and not, and therefore my decisions come like this, especially business decisions. So I think on top of being a businesswoman, as you said, I think it's just more important to really know yourself. Knowledge of self sounds cliche and corny, but it's actually it's very valid, and I think it's key to happiness, and it's key to freedom, and it's key to just even creatively being happy where you're at. Because I could be huge, like Nicki Minaj huge, and be miserable, and I'd rather be happy.
The name is Eternia, so tired of few of you. Been doing this forever, so I got